Buenas noches a todos los participantes. Les agradecemos por participar en nuestro nuevo webinar con Newcastle University. Hoy nos acompañan Andrew y Kirsty. Ellos son representantes de esta universidad y nos van a contar más sobre el programa que ofrecen y demás información que puede ser muy útil para ustedes. Antes de comenzar, queremos informarles o recordarles que el convenio que tenemos con esta universidad comprende un porcentaje de descuento del 20% en el valor de la matrícula para todos los beneficiarios de COLFUTURO. Así que sin más introducción, Andrew, go ahead, the stage is yours.
Muchísimas gracias. Mi nombre es Andrew Fleming. Voy a hablar en inglés, pero si tienen preguntas en español, no duden en hablarnos en el idioma que prefieran. So let's just kick things off. So we're here today in COLFUTURO because to celebrate the agreement that we have between our two institutions. I also want to let you know we are going to be at an event called Expo Postgrados this Saturday and Sunday in the Grand Hyatt. So please come along and see us there. First of all, I want to talk to you about the city of Newcastle. It is a very special place. It is very much a student city. So it's one of the best student cities in the UK and one of the best in the world. Newcastle has all the things you want from a big city without all the things that you don't want from a big city. So everything's walking distance, the accommodation, the universities, all right in the city centre. So everything's at your doorstep. Nothing is more than 10 to 15-minute walk. The only time you would ever really need to use the metro is to go to one of our beautiful beaches or to go to the airport or to go to our port. Everything's at your doorstep. It's a very safe city. Very, very, one of the safest cities around. It's a very affordable city, incredibly affordable compared to a lot of UK cities. One in particular begins with L, but it is significantly cheaper. Some of our accommodation, the lowest price is around £500 per month, and that includes electricity, Wi-Fi, gas. So that's extremely cheap. If you were to go to live in the centre of London, you could be paying 2.5 to 3 times that for your rent. So it's a very cheap place to live. It's very safe. You don't really need to worry about traffic. So I know what it's like living in a big Latin capital city. You don't really need to worry about traffic. You don't need to worry about pollution. You don't need to worry about altitude because we're at Nivel del Mar. It's got all the things you want from a big city. We've got a very famous football team where a very famous player called Faustino Asprilla played for many years. And that football stadium is just across the road from the university. We have all the bars, restaurants, clubs, festivals, an international airport, 2 hallmarks of a big city, Hard Rock Cafe, and an Apple store. So 2 big things, all the things you want from a big city. Affordable. So these are some of my favorite parts of the city. So we've got Grey Street right in the city centre. This is Georgian architecture. So from the 1700s, you've got some beautiful buildings in there, lots of bars, restaurants, a Theatre Royal, and Grey's monument. So that the guy on top of that monument is the Earl Grey, the tea guy. So basically, he was the Prime Minister of England. He was given as a gift this mixture of bergamot and black tea, and he liked it so much, he asked Twinings to make it. So that's the story behind Earl Grey tea. We've got the beautiful beach, one of many beaches that we have, which is Long Sands Beach. This is getting a summer's day. In the summer, we do get good weather. You can certainly get out and maybe do some surfing or get in the sea. In the winter, there's nothing stopping you from doing that, but it's definitely a little bit cooler. Snow on the beach is probably something you're not used to in Colombia, but it does happen in Newcastle. We've got loads of beautiful bridges. So down on the left here, this is the quayside. We've got lots of beautiful bridges, lots of beautiful architecture. We have museums. We have an auditorium. It's a beautiful place to go for a walk day and night. And Jesmond Dean, which is one of my favorites, very close to where I live. And there's a big, beautiful forest. At the minute, it's in the summer, but you can imagine it when it's covered in snow or when the leaves are falling in autumn. It's a really special place. In case you weren't sure where Newcastle was, we are in the northeast of England. We're not too far away from Scotland, and it might look like we're far away from London, but remember, England is a small place. So it's only about 2.5 hours from Newcastle to London via train. You can fly there in less than an hour, but let's be green and get the train instead. There's about a train every 15 to 20 minutes from Newcastle down to London, and you can get up to Scotland in just over an hour. We've got a great international airport. It's really good, with over 80 different destinations, mainly around Europe. So if you were flying from Bogota, you could travel from Bogota to London or to Paris or to Amsterdam and then transfer to Newcastle. You get off at Newcastle Airport and literally the metro station is in the terminal. And on 20 minutes, you're in the city centre where the university is. So it's very well connected. And and you've got lots of beautiful cities in the north, which I do recommend. It's a really good hub because we've got that big train station, port, and airport, so you can get around really easily. As I've mentioned, our campus is right in the city centre. As you can see, it's a beautiful, classic red brick style campus. This is the older part of the campus. Beautiful, beautiful campus. And as you can see, I wasn't lying to you. If you just look to the left, you can see the top of St. James's Park, Newcastle United Stadium. So I wasn't lying. It is actually right next to it. It's a very, very beautiful, historic campus. One of our main things we like to talk about is that in the 60s, Martin Luther King came to Newcastle to give an honorary speech because he received an honorary doctorate from us. So where he gave a speech, you would have your graduation ceremony. So there's a lot of history there. Moving on from the historic part of the campus, we have a modern part of the campus, which is only a 10-minute walk away. And there we have the business school, we have the School of Urban Sciences, we have the National Centre for Data, all there. So lots of cutting-edge modern programs going on at this part. If you're interested in data or computer science, Newcastle really is the place to be. An example, if you like Xbox games, we work with the guys that make Call of Duty, Forza, FIFA, all those big brands, and we're very highly recognized for our data science programs. So I've done my best to describe the city with photos and my voice, but now I'm going to let this picture kind of do the talking. So as you can see, you've got everything you want in a city, but all in a nice compact place. So from the main campus up there, down to the Millennium Bridge, it's only about a 20 to 25-minute walk. It's quite a hill, so if you're on a bike, it's even quicker. It's got everything you want. So the central station there can get you on the train down to London. Everything's there. And just behind the campus, we've got loads of big farms. So some students like to go and find it quite a novelty that on the walk to classes, they go past loads of cows, which doesn't happen in every city. So you've got everything there, but in a safe, comfortable, friendly, and affordable space. So I'm going to hand you over to my colleague Kirsty from the business school, who's going to talk to you about lots of interesting topics. Thank you.
Hello, my name's Kirsty, and as Andrew said, I work for the business school at the university. I am very proud to work for the business school, but the university as a whole, because of all the things that Andrew's already mentioned, but also because of our outstanding global reputation. We are up there with the best of the best universities, both internationally and nationally. So we are ranked by QS, which is one of the most important rankings that you would want to do your research with, at 122 in the most recent rankings. And in the UK, we're ranked 19th by QS. So when you are considering your the university that you want to study at, these are the sorts of things that you would really want to look at. We are a Russell Group university, so that means we're research intensive. It impacts quite highly on the work that you're going to be studying, because you know you're going to be learning from world-leading experts and contemporary up-to-date research. And the QS stars rating system for teaching quality and excellence is also something I'm very proud to be able to say that we offer. Now, when you're coming to be a student, we don't expect you to spend your life in class studying, doing lectures, going to the library, writing assignments, going to sleep and starting all again. We are one of the best student cities in the UK, and that is voted for by students, which I think is very important to remember. So when it comes to affordability, nightlife, socializing, location, all those sorts of things are asked for, and it really is a fun place to live. The QS 5 stars for student employability, when we're looking at this, we're able to say that we have, 95 to sort of 100% on some programs, certainly in the business school employability. And we rank that on being 6 months after graduation. So we have an award-winning career service who, if you utilize them properly and you take advantage of all the opportunities, you would be one of those very, very highly employable and attractive students to the employers when you've graduated. We work very closely with employers. You don't need to go out searching for employers to work with. They come to us. They understand the quality of our graduates based on the teaching and quality of learning from the academics that we have that you will receive. They want to harness the power of our graduates because you are the new and exciting, future employees for them. So, they come to us, we run various different employer events throughout the year, and it gives you a chance to network and also find out not only who you might want to work for, but also who you don't want to work for. It's important to choose an employer that, meshes with your ideas of what a good employer should be. Some of our programs are in the most highly ranked in the UK. So again, you can see for the speech and language science, art and design, there is really something for everyone on there. Our architecture is incredibly well ranked, and then food science and sports science. So we've got a range of programs for everyone. So it's worth having a look at all the different portfolios that are available on the university website. From academic excellence, again, you can see that we've got our humanities and social sciences faculty, which offers a wealth of different programs that you would be able to apply for. This is just the umbrella term for all the different programs that we have. So within, for example, Newcastle University Business School, there's a number of different postgraduate programs that will be available to you, from accounting and finance, economics, MBAs, international business management, sustainable management. So it's worth remembering that what you see holds a huge subset of programs underneath. And it's the same for all of the schools that we have. You can study various different programs, often with different pathways built into them. So you would have mandatory modules, which you would study, that gives you the foundation of knowledge that we know that you need to have to be a successful graduate. But because a lot of these different careers have so many different facets to them, everyone's going to be interested in something different. And so you get the opportunity to personalize your degrees as well through optional modules. For our medical sciences, those of you interested in medical sciences, we have an incredible medical school. The facilities are absolutely cutting edge, but you are attached to our Royal Victoria Infirmary, which is the largest hospital in Newcastle city centre. It's not the only hospital that you will get the opportunity to work in, but certainly from a studying perspective, this is where you would do the majority of your time, working with doctors, nurses, all the different areas of medical sciences that are there. And whether it's you want to become a doctor or you want to be the people working in the laboratories, doing the research and supporting the medical field in finding new drugs, solving medical mysteries, we are able to offer you the programs that help with that. So the application to Newcastle University will depend very much on the program that you're going to be applying for, but you can see that it does work on a variety of different scores. So, for example, for a master's entry, the higher score that we're going to ask you for would be a 3.8. From a lesser degree, perhaps a 3.3. PhD requirements, you would need to have a master's degree in order to undertake a PhD. And then you need to consider the program that you're going to be doing. So, for example, if you wish to take mathematics at a master's program, you would have to do your bachelor's or undergraduate degree in a similar field. So when you're doing your research and you look at the entry requirements, read the subject specific requirements as well, because that will tell you if it's applicable for you to apply for. And We have a COLFUTURO 20% discount when you apply for the program. So that is something, again, to bear in mind when you make the application. We do work with COLFUTURO. It's important to be in contact with them and look at the different opportunities for scholarships that you would have with COLFUTURO. And the tuition fee discount would be added at the time that you made your application and you enrolled and registered as a student. And now, if we have any questions.
So thank you so much for that information. I think it's very useful for all of us. I include myself because I'm in the process as well. So for me, it's really useful, to take the decision. So thank you so much. And now I have 3 important questions. So the first one, can you give us a piece of advice of what is the must for a prospective student?
When you're looking at your application, you want to make sure that you share why you want to study something. It's important for us as a university that we have students that are interested in studying with us. So you want to show why in your personal statement, why you've chosen us as a university. What is it that we do that would be of benefit to you in your career, in your learning, but also what can you bring to the program as well, especially if you're coming onto a professional program like an MBA. What can you contribute to the learning experience of others? I think that's important to think about.
Thank you. And the next one, we do care about the English level. So I want to ask you, do you have like a requirement? Like what is the level that we should have if we want to apply to this university?
Yeah, absolutely. So we will generally ask at a master's level for a score of 6.5. And you would need to check out the requirements for the sub-skills, reading, writing, speaking, and listening. For example, the business school asks for a score of 6.5 with no less than 6 in each of the sub-skills. We do accept a variety of different English language tests, and they are listed on the website. But for example, the most common ones are IELTS, TOEFL, Cambridge, Pearson's, that sort of thing.
Okay, and the last question that is quite important is to know, do you have like this requirement of a statement of purpose?
A personal statement, we call that, yes. So you'll find that in the application form. So when you're looking to apply into the program, you would build a profile with us. And this profile would be where you upload your documents, for example, your translated certificates, your English language certificate, and within that area, that is where you provide us with the statement of purpose. You might be asked to provide a resume as well. So the statement of purpose is where you share your desire to study the program, and that's the whys and the whats you can brings. We do have guides on the website. If you're thinking of applying to master's study, even undergraduate study or research, there are guides on the website as to what we would be looking for to try and help you do that.
Okay, so thank you so much for all this information. As you said, it's really useful, so thank you. And we said that this event is over.
Thank you very much. It's been a real pleasure coming and meeting you, and hopefully we've given you some useful advice.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, yeah, we have a question.
Okay. Okay, that's actually a really good question and very pertinent at the moment. Your rent, as Andrew mentioned earlier on in the presentation, rent is generally going to be around about, at its cheapest point, £500 per month. But that will include the basics where you share a flat with maybe between 4 and 6 people. You would have a wash basin in your bedroom, but then you would share bathroom facilities and kitchen facilities. So you need to look at the budget that you have based on the accommodation website and prices that we put on there. If you want to have your own ensuite bedroom, so you're not sharing bathroom facilities, that takes the price up a little bit, not very much. And from there, obviously, all of your bills are included in that, apart from food. So that's really then down to how expensive a lifestyle you want to have. We have some great supermarkets, and I don't think you have them over here, but they're called Aldi and Lidl, and they are sort of discounted supermarkets with very, very high quality food, but you pay much, much less. And we also have a huge indoor market called the Granger Market, which is a historically beautiful building to start with, but also it's somewhere where you can buy everything from fruit, vegetables, meat, lentils, pastas, beans, anything that you need. There's toiletries. So all that sort of thing is available in one place as well. And it's a much more affordable way to buy your food. And then you're looking at mobile phone, toiletries, haircuts, socializing, adding all of that up. I would say we recommend between £1,000 to £1,200 per month for your budgeting. You can go much more over that if you want to. You can work for up to 20 hours a week as an international student. And I think it's really important to remember that. It's sometimes something that people aren't aware of, but for example, the university has an opportunity for you to register to become, say, a university ambassador. You could talk to students at different events. We pay what's called the real living wage, which is higher than the average minimum wage that you would expect to be paid. So you could work between 10 and 20 hours per week at the university. Or you could get a standard part-time job. We normally see our students working in retail or hospitality. Employers are very, very aware that international students are limited to 20 hours a week. If you were to maximize your opportunities for work, then that should easily, at the very least, cover your rent and possibly your food for the week. Absolutely. Absolutely not. No. But it depends really what you want to study. So the benefits of coming older to a program is that you bring experience and you have things that you can relate your study to. So when you're writing your essays, when you're having seminars and workshops and group discussions, you will actually bring a lot to the classroom experience compared to our students that come in who have done their bachelor's and they transition straight away into their master's. So that is something that is actually a big positive benefit. It's a slight negative, and I don't see it as a negative. It's more maybe of a different challenge, is you've been out of the education system for a few years. And so you would have to get back into the mindset of studying. But our library services are absolutely incredible, and they put on academic skills sessions that even our British students use, and it teaches you everything from academic reading, thinking, research, writing, referencing, which is really important, acknowledging where your research is coming from. And they're available every single day during the week for you to sort of like pick their brains and get the knowledge from them. I will also mention, and this is because I'm from the business school, if you are older and you are considering that you want to get further education, it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to be very specific in the program that you're going to be studying. Maybe you want more of an overview on management and strategic management, and that's where I'd recommend the MBA. Some people think that an MBA isn't appropriate for them because it's maybe not the sort of management skills that they think they might be looking for, but actually it allows you to transition to higher, more highly paid roles you'll have the work background behind you, and then you'll also have an MBA, which is giving you the opportunity to look at the bigger picture of management rather than operationally, departmentally. So absolutely no negatives to starting later in life.